How many times have you seen some bank bonus offer and thought, hey, free money? And then when you look into how hard it'll be to jump through whatever hoops they've created, you start to wonder whether it'll be worth the time you're going to spend on it. In the last few months, I've qualified for 6 welcome bonus offers, had checking accounts with 5 different banks, and opened 4 new credit cards. Now, I don't consider myself to be a points maximizing fiend or anything. In fact, I've been trying to simplify my financial life rather than make it more complicated by spreading myself too thin. But I've been looking for a new bank and trying to maximize the value I get out of shifting my business, because, hey, if there's money on the table, why not? In my ignorance, I thought I was signing up for some simple hoops that I'd jump through, complete a minimum spend requirement, get a bonus or 2, and be done. As you can probably guess, that's not what happened. Instead of clearing a few simple hurdles and pocketing a little cash, I got a first-hand look deep into the customer service, marketing, and revenue generation strategies of 4 of the top 5 largest banks in the US. 2 banks stood out, one for being just as craptastic as you'd expect, and the other for giving me exactly the opposite experience. If you've never explored this kind of stuff or you're from somewhere else, here's a little bit of background. The top 5 largest banks, Chase, Bank of America, Citi, Wells Fargo, and US Bank, control about 40% of the market in the US. 94% of US adults have a bank account, with most of the unbanked population, 79%, being people who make less than $25,000 a year. Trying to get unbanked adults into the system has been a way some banks have tried to increase their market share for reasons that might not be as pure as we'd like. I can imagine that the people who make less money are more likely to pay the kind of lucrative fees that sustain retail banking as an industry. Just like the lottery, the people who can pay these fees the least are the ones who end up paying them the most. But as regulation and consumer protection have ramped up in recent years, banks have switched to trying to just steal market share from one another rather than trying to increase the size of the market. To that end, checking account opening bonus offers of $200 to $300 are not uncommon from the big banks. They know that unless you're going to move away from a convenient branch, you're probably not going to switch banks once you've established your account. Even if you're getting junky service from your bank, the hassle of changing over all your bill payments, ordering new checks, changing your direct deposit instructions, waiting for your new ATM card, closing your old account, and so forth is enough to make you pretty sticky as a client once you've established your account. So while paying hundreds of dollars makes the customer acquisition costs, the cost that banks have to pay to get a new customer, kind of high, they've obviously calculated it makes good business sense to do it because the offer is enough to entice some people to switch, and once they do, they'll likely become a customer for years, if not decades. Depending on the bank and the current offer, these account opening bonuses have some combination of required activities like minimum debit card spend, setting up direct deposit, or transferring in a certain amount of assets in the first 90 days in order to earn the bonus. While these offers are enticing, banks know that a sizable percentage of people will fail to jump through all the hoops, and therefore they won't actually have to pay the bonus they offered in the first place. And that makes all the effort you put in literally worthless. I'll say it again, I wasn't planning on being one of those churn and burners. This whole thing started because I wanted to get rewarded for money I was planning on spending anyway. I fell victim to one of the classic blunders, the most famous of which is never get involved in a land war in Asia, but only slightly less well known is this: nothing will be as easy as you think. I've been wanting to travel more, and I've heard the same stories we all have about people financing entire vacations using credit card points or miles. So I did a little research. I'll say it right now, a little bit of research was not enough research. But after that little bit, I decided I wanted to accumulate American Airlines Advantage miles. Because with the amount of miles I already had on American, plus a credit card sign-up bonus, I'd be able to book an international coach class ticket. And that sounded pretty awesome. So I logged onto the Citi website and began my journey. Citi has been the primary issuer of American Airlines branded cards for years, and while Barclays Bank now also issues cards that earn Advantage miles, their opening offers were identical. I didn't know enough about Barclays to trust them over Citi, and in fact, I had trouble finding the correct Barclays website to apply in the first place. I've had Citi credit cards before, and they were fine, unless something went wrong, and then they were kind of a pain to deal with. But it was the devil I knew. I opened the Citi Advantage Platinum Select World Elite MasterCard in early March with the promise of 50,000 bonus miles if I spent $2,500 in the first 3 months of opening the account. I had a vacation planned 3 weeks later, so I was hoping I would have the card in hand in time to take it with me, knowing that the hotels and meals and stuff would give me a leg up on meeting the minimum spend requirement. 3 weeks came and went, the card still hadn't arrived, and I was about to leave for my trip, so I called Citi. Getting a human on the phone proved to be an exercise in futility.
Let me see if I can assist. You are now in our speech-enabled system. To access our touch-tone system, press ** at any time.
Clearly, Citi does not want you to speak to a live agent without a fight. The card did eventually arrive. I completed the minimum spend requirement within the time frame, and I earned the 50,000 mile bonus. So minus a little bit of frustration at the beginning, it's all good, right? No, of course not. Silly you. Not long after I started using the credit card, I got a targeted email offer from Citi promising me 60,000 more Advantage miles if I opened a checking account. Now that, plus the credit card bonus and the miles I already had, would get me multiple coach class tickets, or maybe even a business class ticket. Now we're talking. Citi has branches near my house and near where I work, and as somebody who's mostly banked online for years, I've been wanting to form a relationship with a convenient local branch bank just in case I need to deposit cash or get a cashier's check or maybe even deal with some sort of fraudulent activity in person. On the surface, it made good sense. Here was a chance to try out a convenient local bank and earn some seemingly free miles in the process that might take me on a luxury vacation. Count me in! I opened the account and met the direct deposit and $1,000 minimum spend requirements in just a few weeks. But here's where things turned south. According to the offer terms, I should have received the miles within 30 days of completing the requirements. 2 months came and went, I still hadn't received the miles, and after spending more than an hour on the phone trying to reach a human, it only netted me a letter telling me to wait another 90 days before inquiring again. I'm not alone here. There are multiple examples of Citi holding up bonus payments, whether in cash or miles, despite fulfillment of the offer terms, and the only thing that seemed to force Citi to pay the bonuses they owed was filing a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau complaint. Frustrated and fed up, that's exactly what I ended up doing, and it worked. Was it worth it for me to waste multiple hours on the phone, change my direct deposit, use a different debit card, and write out a CFPB complaint in order to earn a restricted award currency that could get devalued by an airline at any moment? Maybe? On the surface, it seems like a pretty good deal still, but once you figure in the value of your time and things like that, it's not as rosy as the picture initially looks. You might be asking yourself, why does Citi even do this kind of stuff? Why offer a new checking account bonus to somebody who's just opened a new credit card? They're trying to do something called relationship banking. They don't just want to handle your credit card or your checking account. They want to manage your entire financial life. They want to be your first destination for anything financial: checking, savings, mortgages, loans, credit cards, etc. And clearly, to me at least, they're not doing a great job. The credit card is fine, but the checking account isn't even that good. The online banking experience is kind of ugh. Some of the math doesn't make sense when you have pending transactions. The minimum balance requirements are pretty high, even for the lowest tier account. And the customer service experience has been cheapened as much as most customers will tolerate. At least for me, it was a missed opportunity. Instead of wanting to give Citi more business, I want to give them less. Frustrated and disappointed, I went back to the drawing board, did more research, and stumbled across some advice that said I should take a closer look at Bank of America. So I did. And I'll just say it here, Bank of America has turned out to be everything I'd hoped Citi would turn out to be and more. Like Citi, Bank of America has been focusing on relationship banking, but unlike Citi, they're actually doing a really good job of it. The main form this takes is their preferred rewards program. If your combined balances at Bank of America and Merrill Lynch add up to $20,000 or more, you get a bunch of benefits. From waived monthly maintenance fees on multiple accounts to fee waivers for common banking services to loan discounts to increased credit card rewards earning potential, loyalty really pays off. And while few of us have 20 grand in cash, I certainly don't, and while even fewer of us would keep that $20,000 in a checking account or a savings account earning paltry interest, many more of us have IRAs or 401ks from a previous job that we could transfer over to Merrill Edge and meet the minimum in no time. With commission-free trades in their self-directed accounts, transferring a retirement account over and getting rewarded seems like a decent option. I've seen promotions where you can get up to $1,000 for opening a Merrill Edge account. As of this video, they're only running a $750 promotion, so that's something to keep an eye on. Right now, B of A is offering a $300 cash bonus offer for opening a new checking account, and all you have to do is receive direct deposits totaling $4,000 or more in the first 90 days. There's no minimum debit card spend to keep track of. Now, your mileage may vary, but I opened this account, and the same day that I crossed the minimum threshold was the same day that they deposited the cash bonus into my account. No phone calls, no waiting. It just happened like it was supposed to. Easy. The few interactions I've had to have with customer service have been equally pleasurable. Unlike Citi, getting a human on the phone only took me a few minutes. The representatives were easy to understand, and they really seemed to go above and beyond to make sure I got a complete, clear, and concise answer to my questions. Customer experience consultants talk about creating a wow, a moment of surprise and delight for a client. That's exactly what B of A did for me. Between the checking account bonus and credit card sign-up bonuses, I'm on track to earn $1,100 from Bank of America this year with almost no effort on my part. Contrast that with the tooth and nail fight I've had to wage with Citi, and for me, Bank of America is the clear winner. If you're thinking about changing banks, give them a look. The increased credit card rewards earning potential alone might make it worth the switch. Share your own stories of bonus fails and successes in the comments below. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. It really helps small creators like me. Thanks for watching.